Drive it, kick it, drive it, dump it off to Tice down low.
Oh, nice move. Gilgeous-Alexander looking to take the ball to the basket, which he does very well.
All those calls to make this thing happen with Adam Silver, Michelle Roberts, he was on all these calls. He was working during quarantine. I mean, if they have Smart and Kemba, I don't know if that's going to happen. But if one of those guys is out, if Kemba is ailing with the knee,
Gilgeous-Alexander just comes back the other way, hangs in the air, and gets two.
He was the guy who rang the bell in Brett Brown's locker room after the game.
Deservedly so. Good ball movement from the 76ers as well, as you see the penetration.
Sixers had a great January where Ben Simmons 1 week was a player of the week in the Eastern Conference, and the week before it was Josh Richardson. Noel denying Shake Milton.
That's what he does. Shake not extending on that as Gilgeous-Alexander just eats up that space. Making themselves available, but Ben posting up a guard automatically commands a double team.
Gilgeous-Alexander sat for precautionary reasons, right calf tightness. Norvell Pell, who was the backup in the first half, continues to do that here in the second half. That time, he commits the foul.
Melo checks in for Whiteside. Blazers trail the Thunder by 4. Gilgeous-Alexander, the step back over Nurk, rattles that one in.
He's reading Muscala that entire play. Muscala retreats. Gary Trent Jr. steps away from him.
SGA, nice little crossover dribble with the left-handed finish. That falls. Melo still looking for his first bucket as that one rattles out. OKC once again trying to get the SGA on Nurk switch, and Gilgeous-Alexander.
He's got that in his game.
Both of them had tested positive for the virus. Gilgeous-Alexander from deep, nothing but board.
This young man is impressive. He goes from north of 25 minutes, and he's still able to navigate. And that high pass a season ago was one major weapon for the Utah Jazz. People have made a concerted effort to take that away.
Gilgeous-Alexander, what a sweet scoop shot.
He didn't look it when he tried to do that jump up.
Mid-range jumper good by Gilgeous-Alexander. Gilgeous-Alexander into the paint.
I'll tell you what,
wow.
They are doing. You don't see people attack Rudy Gobert. Hey, classmate of mine, both point guards in '87. My physique was way better than his.
Oh, you got your name all over the trophy case. I've seen it. Gilgeous-Alexander with the layup.
With a man in Zion Williamson who he believes could have a long, incredibly successful career.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose that game against the Clippers. Coming up next right here on ESPN as Quinn Snyder calls timeout.
Now give them the credit. They've done a good job of not allowing you to get to neither one. Ball movement sets it up for that three. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets one to drop. Well, Billy Donovan taking a chance, putting Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the floor with his 5 personal fouls with 10 minutes to go. Now he gets to the rim. Nice reverse. Just totally abused Plumlee in the lane.
Well, Nader's 13 points on 5 of 6 have been huge today. I talked to him before the game, and with Dennis out, with Ferg out, he said it was going to be next man up. He's hit a bunch of threes just like SGA has.
And that's how I was talking about. That margin of error is very small for either team. All of a sudden, come up drilling dry holes.
Oh, a drive by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander inside, just breaking down the defense, counting in a foul.
This game remains tight. 1 point Thunder lead. Approaching 5 minutes to go. SGA left open, spots up three, and he knocks it down. Big shot for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. His third three of the game. 3.2. Adams hands it right back off to SGA. Does he get the shot off? He does. Counting in the foul. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, huge fourth quarter.
This is a fun matchup, Doris.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Paul against Anthony Davis. Paul defers to Gilgeous-Alexander on the baseline. Good decision. 4 points for Davis. LeBron on the bench getting a breather. Gilgeous-Alexander hits the 3-ball. Caldwell Pope got ripped by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That looked like Chris Paul. I've seen Chris Paul make that move.
We said also they're going to have to create their own energy. Well, they've created that energy. It started with good defense.
Gilgeous-Alexander goes to the reverse. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is an Oklahoma City team. Like I said, they've made a season out of coming back from big deficits. Gilgeous-Alexander
from the three-point line since the first quarter.
Gilgeous-Alexander takes it the distance.
This is the kind of pressure you want to stay with on the Wizards. Shai doesn't blow by on Bryant. All players have stuck with the social justice message as well as racial equality as Shai takes in his own miss. Boy, that's a tough one there.
The Wizards. Thunder had the 16-point lead going into that timeout. Billy Donovan was upset about something. SGA, oh, what a tough drive. Hung in the air long enough and scooped it up with the left hand.
Because he just drew a foul. We got 3 free throws, right? And here he is now in the mid-range. He just stands up and shoots it right there.
SGA is so patient down the lane. Nobody came over to help out defensively to block that shot. Ready to get the first flight out, Mike?
Well, you know, they're one of those teams that, you know, they're looking for that first win. They're 0-5 coming into this afternoon's game, folks. As Shai beats the clock. Smart play, don't give up.
Have led all the way up to 22. Washington maybe having thoughts of a comeback. SGA breaks down the defense, goes right to the rim.
You got to almost be up in his jersey when he catches the basketball.
18 threes the last 4 games and muscling it up inside as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander not deterred by the traffic.
And staying committed to the cause. Certainly, I drove by that school. Shai lines up a much-needed 2 for the Thunder. You haven't heard a whole lot from Jimmy Butler, but you don't need to because, you know, there are other guys on this team.
There's a stutter step. SGA just sized up Adebayo on that drive.
In their defense that open up.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the primary ball handler, and he rips the cords from 3. Thunder, though, going to run some offense. 2.5 to go here in the first half. SGA got by, goes up high off the glass and got the bounce.
In terms of it overall, he's had so many great seasons in his Hall of Fame career, but he's been marvelous this year.
And you know what's impressive about that? As the move by Alexander sends Zubac to the ground. There are guys that'll tell you they're all in, but don't mean it. Chris Paul meant it when he said he was all in.
Gilgeous-Alexander on the steal. First the nice move, now the defensive play. And he said that Paul will be the first one to tell you that his leadership style is not for everybody. It can be a little caustic, a little blunt, not for everybody. As we have another foul, count it, and 1. Gilgeous-Alexander looking to run the other way. Baisley has come on now for the Thunder. Gilgeous-Alexander, quick move to the basket. Gilgeous-Alexander is also a very good rebounding guard. He had a 20-rebound game this year. And there's the floater.
Miami beats India.
No, I agree. No.
There you see the field house. There you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, something the Clippers saw an awful lot of last year.
You have to remember, though, OKC, the best comeback team in the league with 17 comeback wins. So watching the guys walk onto the floor.
Three-pointer by Tucker. Little misdirection by Gilgeous-Alexander. Good ball movement. Back inside to Gilgeous-Alexander.
Dort with his first shot. That won't go. They're just glad to have Dort back. Adams kicks it back out. Gilgeous-Alexander fires away. That's a 3. With the 29 points, got to the free throw line quite a bit in game 1. Gilgeous-Alexander, a little fake. Well defended by Gordon. Pullback jumper's good. The air ball goes right into the hands of House, and it's a 3-point Rockets lead. Count it, and 1. Still not ready to return. They're not going to say will he be ready for game 3. That's not known yet. Lillard was #1 in minutes per game, and Harden was #2 this year, regular season. Gilgeous-Alexander step back. That's a 3. His second three-pointer has 16 points, and OKC needed that one. Gilgeous-Alexander the rebound.
Great job defensively, individually and collectively for the Thunder.
Gilgeous-Alexander, that's 3 straight three-pointers, and OKC retakes the lead. Being a starter on an Oklahoma City team here in the NBA playoffs. Gilgeous-Alexander banks it home. And OKC back up 5.
No, Mark will like this. Struggling from the three-point line. Put him in a different position. Put him closer to the basket on his initial catch.
The Rockets just 7 turnovers. Another important part for them. They only had 7 turnovers in game 1.
Gets him backed off. That was pretty by Jeff Green. They like him at the 5 offensively.
He gives them so many different things at both ends of the floor. Runner is good by Gilgeous-Alexander. Baisley on the run out. They couldn't hit him in time. Gilgeous-Alexander to the bucket and gets it.
You see why Billy is preaching, let's push the pace, push the pace. He plants that foot right in front of Schroeder and it freezes him, and then he changes the angle. And how easy is that? Well, it's not easy,
He
but
makes
he
it
makes
look easy. Gilgeous-Alexander counters with a 3.
This has been a struggle for him. He's now 8 of 29 in the series from 3.
2 of 11 in game 2. Gilgeous-Alexander off glass. He slipped the screen, got inside on Tucker. That's a favorable matchup, and they convert. And here comes Oklahoma City up by 1 now. Gilgeous-Alexander from deep. Gordon trying to guard the much bigger and stronger Adams.
Why doesn't he try to punish him on the box?
Didn't even look at the basket.
No.
They get one out of Gilgeous-Alexander. You're right, Doris.
It's getting close to closing time now.
SGA stops on a dime and scores in the mid-range. That 19-footer.
Dort sets a screen on Jeff Green for Paul. Harden switches on to him. Paul gets to the bucket for the lead. Gilgeous-Alexander got it! The Thunder lead by 1.
Gilgeous-Alexander step back and he drops in a triple. And
PJ Tucker struggled a little bit from last game, only 2 for 7 from the field.
And drops in the 3. He's at 61% from the field.
You're talking about finding a home and a comfort spot. Jeff Green right here with the Rockets.
Gilgeous-Alexander laying it up and in.
Isolated on the right wing. Hard and quick move between the legs. And Covington smartly continued to move to get that layup.
Gilgeous-Alexander putting it up and in. Midway through the second quarter, incredibly high-level game 4. Gilgeous-Alexander with a 3. Chris Paul, final minute here of the first half, even at 58. Gilgeous-Alexander left it short, tipped up and in. OKC's looking up. 15 is a problem. SGA getting his own miss.
Well, Gordon averaging over 19 in the series, and that's how he's gotten them from driving the ball. He's struggled to shoot it, but he's been very effective putting the ball on the floor.
Likely done for the rest of the series. Had to leave the campus to have that right knee examined, and we will be watching later tonight on TNT. Here is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, just a choppy start for both of these teams so far. Only 6 points on the board. Gilgeous-Alexander, wow, somehow he finished that one off. Nerlens Noel, here's Gilgeous-Alexander now. See the Rockets, they switch everything. Gilgeous-Alexander for a 3. That's a big hit for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
These stats, and Houston gets up, get this 52 threes a game here in the playoffs, so they'll be shooting a lot more. As Gilgeous-Alexander says, I could knock one down too, but he's not watching his son. Well, he's seen his son play a million times. He probably texts him for the game, good luck, son, and if we play you, we're going to beat you. So a competitive family, I think, in my opinion.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Westbrook. So since both teams know the other team's plays, it's the guys that that execute the best. And that last layup there by Russ was a really well executed play.
He wasn't aware that they played tomorrow. That's how in the moment he was, as Gilgeous-Alexander gets the layup to go inside. The tallest player on the court right now for the Rockets. Shot clock down to 4. Chris Paul whips a pass over to Gilgeous-Alexander, and his floater is butter.
Don't pass the basketball. Don't surrender. Take advantage and win your matchup.
Chris Paul slaloms through the traffic. Gilgeous-Alexander had all day to line it up and knocks down the 3. Still doing a nice job. Gilgeous-Alexander thought about it. Into the paint with the floater. Got it to go. And the lead is down to 1. And Paul clears and rushes out of the pack. They've got 5 on 4 because Covington is trailing. wide open bucket, Gilgeous-Alexander.